What's going on, guys? I wanted to share something with you today that came up on my algorithm by the algorithm gods, and I just thought it was hilarious because it's something I completely missed. I'd never actually seen this video. It's a few years old and has to do with a dude that decided to put himself in a really stupid spot by committing a crime that involved him throwing an unopened can of beer at basically an elderly lady and the cop that is doing the traffic stop. Essentially, a little bit of backstory is that this guy, Vince, decided that he was going to throw a unopened beer can at a literal easy little routine traffic stop where it had to do with an old lady who was having a medical issue, this, that, and the other. I don't know the exact details because, well, I read it and I kind of forgot some of it. Because the base part that I wanted to kind of talk about literally has to do with throwing the beer at the lady who was having a medical issue and that the cops were just trying to help. That's literally it. That's about as much premise as you need. But the fact that the guy decided to be a complete moron and chunked this thing at this, traffic stop, thinking I guess he would be cool, and then trying to play it off like he had no idea what was going on quite literally like 5 minutes later.
And if any East End cars, it's going eastbound from 117th. It just threw a beer can out at me and the lady I have stopped.
A little bit of fun fact. Did you know that those cans cannot just bust open just willy-nilly? They're not real easy to just bust. Yeah, you can throw them on the ground, and normally a lot of the bust does happen from impact, but usually, let's be honest, guys, when you're trying to spike something to bust it, you're putting a little bit of effort behind it. And sometimes it doesn't even bust because of the impact. It's literally busting because of like a small rock or something that you land on and just bust that one spot. But for these to bust almost on like a more flatter surface like what it was doing, like a car or something like that, you have to be lobbing that thing pretty hard. And the impact, which by the way, I stated, this is an older lady that's just having a medical issue, he could have hit. And that would have been a real big no-no, a whole lot of no-no. Like get put in prison and your prison purse is going to get just ripped wide open type no-no. Also, another thing, I want you to really remember this little screenshot I took, the vehicle on the left. Just take that to memory so there's no confusion later here in a minute.
Go shut your car off for me.
What's up?
Shut your car off for me.
Shut your car off.
Shut your car off for me.
I like how he's sitting there just playing stupid, going like, "I got to cut my car off. Why? I mean, I don't get it, dude. This is like a routine little traffic stop. What's going on? Like, I must have a taillight busted. Like you forgot that he just committed assault. Also, real quick, yep, same vehicle. Just FYI, same hatchback. I don't know if you committed that to memory, but yeah, same vehicle for people want to argue. He even confirms it here in a minute about the tag. But I don't know what his goal was here, to sit there and chunk an unopened can, like it's, I guess, for cool points. But I don't know if he has the same type of friends I had when I was drinking and acting goofy and being a moron. We had a collective rule. There was basically one simple one, but usually the end result was a collective ass whooping. And it had to come with if you hurt your significant other, like you can't hit them, you can't like degrade them. There is no reason to have that. And then two, you don't hurt like innocent people. Okay, if you get into an argument with somebody and it comes down to, fists, it better be as one-on-one as possible. Okay, if not, buddies, you need to jump in and help your buddy. That was pretty much our entire way we lived. It's always going to be a fair fight, and if it becomes unfair, equalize it. It's that simple. You never hit your significant other. This type of stuff wouldn't have been tolerated with the people I hung out with. And quite literally, if they would have heard that, as soon as any of us would have got out of jail, they would have had a collective ass whooping waiting on them, just so they know doubly sure that you don't do that. So I don't know what type of people he hangs out with where he thinks it's a good idea to chunk stuff, which could in the end hit an innocent bystander, which it did. Now, the impact was minimal. It didn't actually directly hit this person. I don't know if I've clarified that, but she really just got mainly spritzed by the beer, but it still hit the vehicle, and it still spritzed it all over. It still probably bothered her that something that could have hurt her literally was just inches away from her head.
What's up?
Shut your car off for me. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna step out.
What's up?
Face away from me.
Whoa.
Face away from me.
What's going on, man?
You're being detained because you just hit an old lady with the twisted T that you threw at my police car down there. It's all on camera. It's on my Axon plate reader. It's your car. A twisted tea can, a full, unopened twisted tea can that exploded all over an old lady that's having a medical issue down there.
I have no idea.
It's on my camera.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Threw a beer can at that car down and me while I was talking to her.
What?
did.
Sure.
Then I'm not playing any games. You're going in for a
And yeah, of course, he's sporting a man bun. You know, and I'm not here to make fun of man buns. They get made fun of a lot. I do keep mine up sometimes. Normally when I'm sleeping or like if I'm working on my car, I put it up and put a little beanie on to make sure that I don't get my hair stuck anywhere. And like I said, when I'm sleeping, I put it up in a little loose bun to make sure that it doesn't get in my face when I'm trying to wake up and, you know, just chewing on it or whatever ends up happening while I'm asleep. Or when it gets trapped around, like I'm trying to, you know, lay my head down and I start yanking it, it gets caught in between my arm and stuff. You know, it's accidental stuff. That's what I'm putting it up for. I guess his is put up because he's driving around with the, you know, the window down, shirtless, so everybody can see. I don't know why. And that's another thing that really only affects me. And I'm not actually using this as like a shaming method or anything. I don't understand the riding around with no shirt. I don't get why people are shirtless 90% of the time. I've always worn a shirt. Way before I got fat, I literally have been wearing shirts for so long. Another thing I wear just because it's always been a thing. Tank tops. I order them like, or not order them. I buy them in a big bulk, probably twice a year, beginning of the year, middle of the year, because they'll get worn out, tore up. You know, I wear them pretty often, almost every day, 7 days a week. I always have them. I don't know why. It's the same 7 that I wear, but I just, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm uncomfortable. One day I just woke up and was like, you know what? I just don't feel like people need to see my nipples. So I just started wearing shirts all the time. I just find it weird that people just walk around with no shirts for literally no reason. So to get kind of back on track, you remember early in the video I was talking about how he was technically drunk? Well, I want you to go ahead in the comments, however you want to do this, pause the video, and I want you to take a guess what he blew. Now, if you said the cop, I'm going to be honest, that was pretty funny. I was thinking the same thing after I said that. It just made me laugh. But if you said 0.081, you're correct. Okay? Yeah, it wasn't the cop. It was 0.081. And if you know anything about DUIs or the law when it comes to a breathalyzer, 0.08 is pretty much the limit. I don't know if they charge you at 0.08 or above. I would assume above, since they did put it in as 0.081. See, the only thing I've ever blown when I've actually went through a roadblock, not a cop, was 0.07. And I was informed that if I did any more drinking, I'd probably go to jail, which I told him I was going straight home and going to bed. I think I've already mentioned this story before. So just to give you the cliff notes, I ran into a roadblock, got breathalyzed, 0.07, had a nice little quick conversation. And once the cop said I was good to go, I went home, wiped my ass from all the shit that was in it, and I went to bed because, yeah, I had been out drinking a little bit, and I felt like I was fine, which the cop said was a 0.07, so I was fine for the most part. Went home, scared shitless, and yeah, that was pretty much the ending of that. So he blew a 0.081, which, yes, technically he's drunk. But if you'd go off my opinion, he wouldn't be drunk enough to be like, oh my god, I'm so drunk, I'm going to do stupid shit. No. He was just a jackass being a jackass, and some innocent bystander got sprayed with beer, all because he just thought he was cool for a second, I guess. But yeah, guys, like I said, it's an older video, don't get me wrong, but it's just weird I missed it, and it popped up in my algorithm, so I just felt like sharing it with you guys. But yeah, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.